Welcome to the fourth in a series of 5 trainings on Farm to School. These trainings can be viewed in any order or sequentially. The order we have presented them in is set up in a way that follows the general planning of Farm to School for school food service. If you wish to earn CEUs toward your School Nutrition Association certification through the Minnesota School Nutrition Association, you will need to watch all 5 trainings and then complete a short quiz. This series of trainings is meant to be a broad overview of Farm to School and will illustrate how easy it is to implement at your school. These trainings will also provide you with numerous resources and context to help you begin your Farm to School journey.
The purpose of the Prepping Your Farm to School items segment is to help you understand the basic methods of preparing local foods for use in your farm to school recipes. As with Farm to School itself, there is no one right way to prepare your items. In fact, we encourage using multiple methods in getting these farm fresh foods ready for use in your school. What works best depends on your school. For example, one school's preference may be to have kitchen staff wash and process the food items to prepare them for cooking, whereas another school may prefer to have their distributor process the food before it arrives. In addition, some schools may choose to purchase items that need minimal processing, such as cherry tomatoes or apples.
We will begin this presentation by discussing food safety and the importance of proper food handling in the kitchen. Next, we will discuss keeping it easy, identifying simple foods that require minimal preparation. Once we identify simple foods, we will then move on to talk about skills and equipment needed to work with local foods that require more preparation. We will also discuss using your partnerships and relationships to simplify food preparation and reduce the amount of time needed during this process. Finally, we will go over a few food prep examples and leave you with some resources.
Whether you purchase local foods prepackaged, lightly processed from a distributor, or whole straight from the farm, food safety is always a concern. To prevent the spread of illness through contamination, check out the Extension website for food safety and handling information.
Some things to keep in mind are to always wet, wipe, wash, or sanitize your produce to make sure that it is clean before you cut or process it, and to hold your local products at the proper temperature. Also, it is important to keep your hands clean or wear gloves when working with your food, local or otherwise. Iowa State University has a great resource that shows how to wash fresh produce safely, as well as many other useful food safety fact sheets. In addition, there's a great training called Produce U that will begin to be rolled out across the state in 2012. This program will focus solely on food safety for local produce and meat. Watch for these trainings to come to your area.
Now that we have covered food safety basics, we can begin discussing local foods that require minimal prep to be served as part of your menu. For example, herbs and cherry tomatoes are easy to serve as part of a salad bar or in a mixed dish, as they only require a wash and rinse. Apples also require minimal preparation and can easily be served as an individual fruit serving or as part of a dish. 2 more examples are wild rice and dried beans, which require no more than a quick sort to check for and remove debris in the mix, and then soak before cooking. Honey requires virtually no prep beyond measuring out the amount needed for your recipe. See how easy prepping local foods can be? You already have 6 examples of foods that are relatively easy to get ready for use in your menu.
While there are many local foods that require minimal prep before cooking, there are also foods that need just a little more attention. For example, sweet corn needs to be shucked and desilked, melons need to be washed and cut, squash needs to be cubed, roasted, or mashed, and garlic may need to be minced, roasted, or chopped. This might seem like a daunting task at first, but the good news is that there are many resources out there to help you get these foods ready for service. One such resource is a series of Great Trainings technical assistance sheets. If you have not attended the Great Trays trainings, these sheets can be found at the Iowa Gold Star Cycle Menu Technical Assistance page through the web address on the resource sheet.
To access the technical assistance sheets, just visit the USDA's Team Nutrition website for the Iowa Gold Star menus. Then scroll to the bottom of the page to the Technical Assistance area. From here, you can select a tip sheet for the food item you are working with or the skill that you are practicing.
An example tip sheet available through Team Nutrition website is called Proper Handling of a Chef Knife. This tip sheet goes over the basics of how to hold a chef's knife, including the proper grip on the knife and the safe claw method of gripping, which can help to prevent kitchen accidents.
Another technical assistance piece that you will find on the website is the How to Slice and Chop Melon page. This sheet goes over safe handling procedures for how to peel, cut, and chop a melon after you have followed the How to Wash Fresh Produce sheet shown earlier in this presentation. For example, you would want to follow steps 1 through 5 of the How to Wash Fresh Produce sheet before cutting the melon. Step 1 is to wash your hands. Step 2 is to wash, rinse, sanitize, and air dry all food contact surfaces, equipment, and utensils that will be used in chopping the melon. Steps 3 to 5 are to thoroughly wash, scrub, rinse, and air dry the melons. After the melons have dried, you can begin following the slicing and chopping melon sheet, beginning with step 1, which is to remove each end of the melon with a chef's knife, and ending with step 5, to turn fruit 1/4 turn and slice again. Finally, if the fruit is not going to be served immediately, follow step 6 of the How to Wash Fresh Produce sheet, which is to label, date, and refrigerate fresh cut items.
If you cube more melons than you can use, you may consider freezing or canning the remainder to use for future meals. This can help you make your local foods last long into the year. Freezing and canning may lead to questions. The good news is that there are resources such as existing food facilities planning to freeze, dries, or otherwise preserve fresh foods for sale or service worksheet. There's also a similar sheet specifically for canning. These sheets were compiled by an array of state agencies with the help of sanitarians and can help answer any lingering concerns you may have about freezing or canning foods.
Now that you know where to find resources to guide the manual prep of your local food, let's talk about a couple of pieces of equipment that can help you quickly get your raw local ingredients ready for use in your recipes. One piece of equipment is called a Roboku. This item is an electric food processor that quickly slices or dices your produce into the desired size and shape after you have washed and dried the food. Another piece of equipment that can be helpful in preparing local ingredients is the Volrath Redco Instacut 3.5. This is a manual use food processor that will quickly dice, wedge, or core the food. If it is in your budget, these tools can make it easy and efficient to process farm-to-school items in-house.
If your school chooses to purchase your local foods through a distributor, you may be able to have it processed to your school's liking. For example, let's say you want a mix of rutabaga, sweet potatoes, and parsnips in 1-inch cubes. Your distributor may be willing to work with you to make that happen. If you're getting into the Farm to School game, check out the Farm to School Toolkit on the University of Minnesota Extension website for resources to help you find a distributor who works with local foods. Remember, you are the customer when it comes to working with distributors. It never hurts to ask.
Still another option for prepping your local ingredients is to employ the help of a student or other school volunteers. In addition to reducing your labor costs, these volunteers will gain valuable life skills by learning to prepare the food. An example of how you might utilize volunteers would be to have students shuck an ear of corn on their way from the cafeteria to the classroom. It only takes a few seconds and will connect the children with their food. Not to mention, it also saves you time. You might also invite a student from the Family and Consumer Sciences class, along with their teacher, to come and help you scrub sweet potatoes before wedging them for baked sweet potato fries. Still another way you might utilize your partnerships with students would be to have children come from the life skills class sort through the dried beans for debris before soaking. In addition to reducing your labor time and costs, you may also potentially become a friend instead of just the lunch lady to the student.
Now that we have gone over a variety of techniques for prepping the local foods for your Farm to School initiative, let's go over another resource, the National Food Service Management Institute website. This website has a variety of tip sheets and trainings that may be useful for you on how to prepare fresh and local foods. To access a variety of topics on prepping raw foods, click on the resource button.
Next, click on the Culinary Techniques link on the left-hand side of the NSFMI Resource Center page.
Finally, choose a topic you would like to learn about. Let's look at the Preparing Dried Beans and Peas section as an example.
When you click on the link for the dried beans and peas techniques, you will be able to access a PDF manual with how-to tips and recipes for working with dried beans. You will also be able to access videos detailing how to prepare your dried beans and peas for serving. Click on the NSFMI video screenshot to watch a tutorial on prepping dried beans.
Overall, prepping your raw food for your farm to school initiative can be simple with the help of your partners and volunteers and with use of many resources that are available to you. Like Elizabeth Donaski of Cloquet Public Schools said, with the growing popularity and support of Farm to School program, the ease of implementing this into your program is greater than ever.
Throughout the presentation, we referenced many helpful websites. Here are the links for those resources. Don't worry if you don't have time to copy them. We have also developed a handout with all the references cited in this segment. Talk about easy. Happy farm to schooling!
These trainings were developed as a collaborative between Minnesota Department of Health and the University of Minnesota Extension by University of Minnesota graduate students Stephanie Mottet and Megan Reitz, with reviews by members of the Minnesota Department of Education and Minnesota School Nutrition Association.